The Australian Museum is the nation's first museum. For almost 200 years, it's been collecting and safeguarding the region's cultural and scientific heritage. But in order to continue to meet the demands of its growing visitors, the museum needs to transform its historic William Street site. Currently, less than 1% of the museum's total collection of more than 18 million items is on display. It's time to expand and modernise this renowned institution.
The Australian Museum's role is not to just preserve and protect our cultural and natural science heritage for all time, but it's also to help inspire.
If we expand that role, it really is to excite the minds, excite the curiosity and the imagination of everyone who walks through our doors.
The Australian Museum has already begun its transformation with the award-winning Crystal Hall entrance to welcome visitors and a whole new series of exhibitions recently opened. These upgrades are essential to ensure that the Australian Museum can continue to cater to more and more visitors and offer the best experience possible. But there's still more to be done. Barrabuwari muru means future path in Sydney's Indigenous language. It's also the name of the master plan for this iconic institution, taking the Australian Museum into the future.
The Australian Museum has been on this site since 1845, and since then buildings have been constantly added over time.
Barrabuwari muru is the Australian Museum's master plan. It's an important undertaking to allow this Australian icon to reach its full potential.
The urgent need for the Australian Museum to have a master plan is really so that we can literally plan over the next 10 years.
A transformed Australian Museum would deliver more space because we are literally bursting at the seams.
We're a natural history museum built on an 18th century model. We want to be the museum of the 21st century.
We really need to be the best museum in the Southern Hemisphere. Our collections dictate that.
In addition to more space for exhibitions and programs, a transformed Australian Museum will also provide facilities for research and education.
For kids and families, we'll be building new spaces that are experiential.
We'd have places where we can actually explain our science, and it is really cool stuff that we do here. We'd have lots of spaces for children to do formal learning, informal learning.
I want to create a centre where our Pacific and Indigenous cultures can be studied and researched at the highest level.
On the corner of Yurong and William Streets is a site for development. This site provides the museum with the opportunity to construct a new purpose-built facility.
Not many cultural institutions around Australia or in the world can boast a dedicated site.
So we need to build something new there to house the museum of the future. Really assert our place as the finest museum on the eastern seaboard, if not in the entire region, and that's our goal.
Kim McKay and the Australian Museum team are passionate about the future of the museum. Their drive and dedication will see this much-loved institution establish itself as a world-class museum, fit for the 21st century and beyond.